Hello everybody, I'm Almen. I'm a yoga teacher and a co-founder of the Cure Group. When I got the invitation from TEDxCityUHongKong and saw that the theme was metamorphosis, I was very excited and felt it was very interesting because there was really the story of my life. Believe it or not, I was a farm girl, a shoe salesperson, an actress, and a model, and a merchandiser before the age of 37, when I then helped to start Pure Yoga. And very interesting, in Hong Kong, a lot of people thought that I was either Asian or lived overseas, and strangers often speak to me in English. But let me start from the very beginning and tell you who I really am. I actually was born in the small village in southern China. In the middle of the Cultural Revolution, 60s. So you can guess that my age is in the grandma category. Life was simple. We have no TV, no toys, very limited electricity, no running water. Although the life was not easy, but as children, we had a lot of fun running around the mountains, picking up wild fruits, playing in muds, and swimming in rivers. We all farmed, and we planted rice, sweet potatoes, peanuts, sugarcane, corns. And until today, these are still my favorite comfort food. In the village, we only had 6 years of education, which is the primary school. So a lot of parents will delay their kids from starting school too early until at least 10 years old, so that they can start their full-time farmer life a little bit later. I spent most of my childhood in China until around 9 years old. Then I had the chance to move to Hong Kong to be reunited with my grandmother and my father. This was the picture that we had on that permit to enter Hong Kong. So here I was on the train to Hong Kong, a big bright city which will become my new home. And I remember when approaching Hong Kong on the train, seeing all the lights, and I asked my mother, so Hong Kong had no night time? So bright. I must say it was not easy to change my life so drastically. In mainland, we did not have a lot, but living space was bigger. And I still remember when I entered my grandmother and my father's house for the first time in Hong Kong, and I looked around and asked my mom, is this the whole house? Wow, it's so tiny. It was 170 square foot concrete box, and it was for 5 of us living in there. I also started school 3 years late in a different Chinese language I did not know. And I was quite lucky to actually have any school would accept me because it was in the middle of school terms. Still, I got thrown into a classroom, grade 1 classroom, as the tallest and the oldest person. I had no clue what was happening. I didn't understand what they're saying, couldn't read and couldn't write, and learning English was another challenge because I had never learned the alphabet. But I had to learn the whole sentence and a paragraph by just memorizing. I worked really hard, and somehow at the end of the term, my scores was okay. And then another year of very hard work, I came first place in school, in my class. And then I managed to stay top 3 throughout the whole primary year. I adapted quite well to my school life and started to join a lot of school activities. I was selected as school leader and also captain in the road safety patrol team. My husband, until today, he still teases me so much when I show him how to do the marching, you know. Like that. So anyways, I started to also play a lot of sports in track and field, volleyball, and basketball. And basketball became my favorite. And I played on the school team until I graduated from secondary school. Soon enough, I ended up with 2 more younger sisters. So now it's 7 of us. With my grandmother, 7 of us living in the same concrete box with 2 bunk beds and no mattress. And in winter, we can sleep together, but summertime it's too hot, we all slept on the floor. So with very little family income, from age of 12, I started to work to help the family and do some handicraft at home, like assembling plastic flowers and doing necklaces. And then from age of 14, I started to do a full-time summer job, working in the factory sewing, and the income helped to cover my school expenses and also helped to bring some money home as well. When I got my salary, I still remember taking my sisters to McDonald's or buying them some small gifts was a big luxury we all remember well until today. At age 19, I graduated from high school and immediately started to work to help the family. But with my educational background, my job choices were very limited. I took the job as a salesperson in the shoe shops in Central because I knew I could meet a lot of people and foreigners from around the world to practice my English language skill. And after I finished work, I took some English classes to improve my English, as well as some other subjects, just to learn different things. Soon after, I started a new role as a merchandiser in the same shoes company. I did not know nothing about this job, but I took the chance because I don't want to keep selling shoes and standing for 10 hours a day. So I worked really hard to try to learn about the business, to help the company to build new departments, create their own brands, and selling locally and to overseas customers. And around this time, I also decided to take a modeling course, not because I think I can be a model now, but because I was still such a tomboy, as you can see, and I wanted to be a little bit more feminine. Imagine when I used to go to the bathroom, the moment I enter the ladies' toilet, the cleaning lady will shout, "Wait! This is the ladies' toilet! Get out! Men's next door!" Then I will react and say, "I'm a girl." And then, even if she realized that she was wrong, she still kept going, "Hey, yeah, you look so much like a boy. Why are you dressed like that?" So sometimes I would just not say anything, and sometimes I would say, "Fashion, auntie," to her, just to fight back. Anyways, after that course, I got some modeling opportunities, but I rejected it because I did not think I was good enough for the industry. I thought to myself I should probably just stick with some normal jobs. And also at age 25, I thought I was a little bit too old to start modeling. And eventually, I went to one casting because I just want the agency to stop nagging me. So I went to that one casting I did not expect. That experience will change my life forever. This was the photo shoot from that job. It's for Elle magazine Fresh and Spread. After we finished this shoot, at the same day, I got another phone call from the same magazine, wanted to work with me again. And instead of being very excited, I was actually quite nervous because I had to take more time off work. But at the end, I still went and I became a regular model in that magazine. And very soon after, I realized this is a good opportunity for me to make more money, travel, and also build a new career. After many years doing quite a lot of fashion shows, TV commercials, and catalog works, I got an opportunity, an invitation to be an actress. I had no idea about acting, but this time I will give it a try. And I went on to the casting. Very luckily, after the first try, I got the role as a supporting actress in a movie, and very fortunate to be able to work with a few very famous director and an actor, and they helped me so much in the film that I actually won the Best Supporting Actress in East Asia Film Festival. After that, I got a lot of movie invitations and a lot of opportunity to work on different projects. And I was doing quite a few of films and ended up working in about 15, 16 films around a few years' time. I did quite a lot of action films, and I remember one time I had to fight Jackie Chan's personal bodyguard in real life. And the fight was with him, and I had to beat him up, and I had to win the fight. I was very nervous because doing fake fighting is very hard compared to doing real ones, because you have to make it look real in cameras, but at the same time you cannot hurt your opponent. And the other time, we had to do a bombing scene on the streets, but we had to do it secretly. And the reason is it was almost impossible to get a permit to do a bombing scene in public. So we had to do it in one take, and after we finished, we have to pack quickly and run as fast as we can so we don't get caught by the police. So I really enjoy acting and playing different roles and doing things that we could only do in movies. And I was very fortunate that I could be able to work with a lot of famous actors and directors like Leslie Wong, Andy Anita Yu, and Andrew a director. So, and in the middle of all this, I became a single mom. And soon later, I met a single father and made a family of 4 people together. And this is another story for another day. Unfortunately, there is a darker side of the movie industry which I did not play along. And my career suffered from this. And caused the loss of some Hollywood opportunities as well. So at this point, I was very desperate to actually looking for new opportunities and new doors to open. And in 2002, a friend of mine, Colin Grant, he had the idea of opening a yoga studio in Hong Kong, the first one ever, a hot yoga studio in Hong Kong. And he invited me to join and help to manage the business. I had no idea about yoga studio and how to manage a business, but I took the chance and I was excited and wanted to try. So I started to explore and learn everything about the business and how to manage a studio. We opened our very first studio in 2002, January, with a very small team. And I was wearing many hats, doing customer service, retail, managing the studio, and also marketing as well. Many ask me, how can you walk away from fame and vanity after being leading actress in movies, and now starting from zero again with yoga. And I think to me, there is always time and place for everything in life. Once I make the decision, I just focus on moving forward and not looking back and holding on to the past. Then, a couple months after we opened our first studio, something happened again that changed my life in a big way. Bikram, the Indian who founded the yoga practice, demanded one of the owners of the studio need to be trained and become a certified hot yoga teacher. So next thing I know, I took a flight to LA, Los Angeles in USA, and took a 3-month-long hot yoga teacher training. It was one of the hardest things I have ever done. It was 9 weeks long, 6 days a week, 15 hours a day, doing yoga with 300 people in the hot room, and learning how to teach the poses, memorizing the dialogue. It was very tiring physically and mentally. But it was really crazy experience. If you watch the Netflix documentary on Bikram, you can understand my crazy experience. Anyway, so after finished the course, I come back and I plan not to take yoga or get into the hot room for at least a month. And I had no confidence and idea on whether I would teach at all. But very interesting, after like one day, my body missed the hot. And I went back to class right away. And within 48 hours from landing, I taught my first class. So learning how to teach and practicing regularly really helps me to promote the yoga more authentically and deeper. And now I feel really good that I can really walk the talk. So after launching our first yoga studio, we realized the market is really ready for good quality yoga with 5-star facility. So soon after, we added on some non-hot classes and expanded our business to other countries like Singapore, and also opened more in mainland China and Hong Kong as well. And Pure Fitness was added with the same concept of high-end experiences, added on with division like retail and F&B. Now Pure has 37 locations in APAC. So today marks my 23 years in teaching. I have never thought that teaching yoga and being in health and wellness business would be my last and my longer career in my life. I often get asked the keys to success. Well, I think it's simple. For me, whatever I do with passion, dedication, 110% hard work. So when I look back on my experiences in many industries and 5 or 6 careers, it makes me think of a movie called Sliding Doors. It's about getting all the train of knots in your life when that door opens. Each chain represents an opportunity and comes with certain journey, experience, and destination. If you do not get on this one, the next one you will have completely different experience and journey. So when the door comes, when the train comes, when the door opens, do you walk away? Or do you wait for the next one? Or will there be a next one? Or would you just run through it and try to maximize your opportunity along the way? So metamorphosis really describes the multiple changes and stages in my life, from a farm girl to who I am with Pure today. I've learned that yesterday really is today's teacher. So it's never too late to get on a new train or to take on a new life challenge. It's choice, not only chance, that determines your destiny. Thank you.